How did it go with the three new defensive players this week?
It was a good week. It was a good week of practice and preparation with the entire team. Fun to get some new guys out there and watch them go. And it was a really good week for the entire team. Got another day today that we're about to be going out to, but first 2 days really good.
What's your thoughts on Jordan Love and his development over the years?
Yeah, a lot of respect for Love or for Jordan. Um, I think he's a really good quarterback who's made a lot of plays, won a lot of games. Coach Flores won a ton of games, with different quarterbacks, and so yeah, a lot of respect for how he runs the offense and how he can read through things, accurate as a passer, able to make plays with his feet, tough. And so a lot of respect for him, and I continue to see him get better as we continue to play them.
How have you seen Christian Parker earn the trust of his secondary, and especially some of these high-profile players that he's coached?
Yeah, I think the quickest way us as coaches, earn trust is through knowledge, right? And through the players knowing as we get to spend time with them, that we can help them get better as football players. And I think that's always, I know a lot of people say you know, they got to know you care first. What I think though is that when you have that knowledge of football and you can help them get better, that opens up the door to a better relationship. All right. So I kind of have a different theory on that. And so, the knowledge of the game and him being able to help these guys get better, his track record of doing so, and then the connection that opens up after that. So, Christian's done a great job. I'm happy he's on our staff. And I know he'll continue to do a good job.
Earlier this week, you talked about the orientation process, more from a coaching perspective. How much do you have to entrust your leadership, your players, to bring in new guys as well?
Yeah, I think that's a lot, right? Because a lot of the time that they spend is it's important that every department that they spend time with has a plan. Our coaches have a plan. But then the rest of the time is spent with your teammates. And so that's just, I think, it's not like we have a written down plan for our guys, but it's those guys showing them the core values that we live by day, and how their actions are and carrying those things out. And so that's really important, which is why I'm so thankful we got great guys on this football team to be able to do that.
When you go to that stadium, I know you're focused on the football and all the things that are going on, but as a relatively young coach, do you ever go into that building and take a deep breath and kind of feel the history of Lambeau Field?
Not really.
No?
No, I don't get wrapped up into that. We play at a lot of great places. This place, no exception, or obviously this place has the history that it has, and have a lot of respect for that. But our job is to focus, to lock in, focus. I mean, the Link's an awesome place to play each and every week, or 9 or 8 times a year. So, if you get yourself wrapped up too much into that, I think it takes away from the things that you need to focus on. I have a lot of respect though for the history there and what's happened there and the great teams and players that have played there and you know all again just being around for so long. But no, our job is to go in there and to focus on the things that we can focus on and control, and I try not to get myself wrapped up too much into that.
Do you have a favorite tush push that you remember more than maybe any other?
The ones that get first downs. Yeah. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I don't. At some point, I will. Maybe when it's all said and done, at some point I will, but not right this second. I love everything that goes into making it successful, and making it work. Just like any play that you go through, and it starts, in the classroom, then to walk through, then to practice. Excuse me. So, yeah, it is. It's just there's so much that goes into each and every play, that I think that not a lot of people would understand of how much goes into each and every play. Figuring out why to run it, when to run it, the detail that in the coaching points and the fundamentals that are needed to execute each play. So that's what we focus on.
You like that it gets under people's skin?
Not necessarily. That doesn't. I don't care. Yeah, I don't. Again, I try not to get wrapped up into things that are out of my control. And so I don't have an opinion either way. This is the rule. This is what we'll play by with the rule, and we'll go from there.
Has it occurred to you this week that the Packers submitted the proposal?
I don't get wrapped too much into that. No.
With that onboarding process with the new guys we talk about, is it helpful? Can't always be that way, but you have a coach that has a history with all three of those players.
Yeah.
Is that helpful?
Very much so. I think, that's the start. Again, it starts by them having that that relationship starts by them knowing you can help them get better, and then, it goes from there. And so, yeah, definitely. It definitely does.